Welcome to ISKCON of Silicon Valley. We're obviously starting at our new time. This is the first day that we've had a 4 o'clock start. So thank you all for being here. We're hoping to make this transition smooth and that it'll accommodate more of the devotees and the services here. Thanks everyone for joining us online from various places around the world. And as those of you who are here at the temple, no playing while somebody's talking, just stop, can see that this is a preparation time. There are many devotees in the parking lot getting ready. There are lights going up, getting ready for Janmashtami. This is the most important festival here every year. It'll be on Friday, starting early in the morning and going till midnight. And then the next day will be the Vyasa Puja for His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON. And in order to accommodate the more than 10,000 people that come here for Janmashtami, as you can see, they may not fit in the temple hall all at one time. Or do you think we could do that? We have a plan to accommodate everybody that's being well thought out and has been in the planning stage for months, actually, in cooperation with the city and all the permit departments and so forth. It's an onerous task, actually, getting everything together. And the devotees are joyfully engaged, so there's a lot of extra energy here today with devotees cooking and preparing everything outside for the festival. And here inside, there seems to be a bit of calm. Everyone's here looks calm and ready to discuss philosophy and chant Hare Krishna. Am I correct about that? Yes. So today, we're going to have a look at the Bhagavad Gita, which is always a good idea. Feel free to express yourself. It's always a good idea to look at the Bhagavad Gita and hear what Krishna's directions are. As Srila Prabhupada points out in a purport to the second canto, second chapter, verse, number 15, that the Bhagavad Gita is itself Vedic intelligence. I may have a modicum of intelligence, but it's not sufficient to see my way through the various complications that this life presents. But if one follows the Vedic intelligence, that is Krishna's intelligence, because Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya cham ham hridisannivishto taksmitir jnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarvaraham eva vedyo vedanta krit veda vedeva chaham. He is the author of the Vedas. He knows the Vedas, and the purpose of the Vedas is to understand him. So it's a great boon for us that he spoke the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. In fact, in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings to Sanatan Goswami, he says that Krishna speaking the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna has saved the whole world. And this is so because the concise Vedic teachings we find, otherwise known as the Gita Upanishad, which really means a summary of all the Upanishads, is there in the Bhagavad Gita. And today we'll look at one of the verses from the 18th chapter in which Krishna talks about the way in which there are 5 factors to every action that we take. Although we are doers, we have free will and we have choices to make. Still, we're dependent on other factors, and especially what Srila Prabhupada calls the super cause for the enactment of any action, or for any action to be successful. So, I first offer my respectful obeisances to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of ISKCON, and I offer my obeisances to all of you because you are Vaishnavas and therefore the most worshipable in the 3 worlds. Where's Balaram? No, that Balaram. Okay. Tell him you can come back. So in the 18th chapter, Krishna describes the perfection of renunciation. And although that may sound a little daunting, because nowadays people aren't accustomed to renouncing and giving up all the comforts of life. In fact, every suburban home is built for comfort. There's air conditioning and a place to park the car, which is also air conditioned. So practically you can leave your air conditioned house and get an air conditioned car. You have instant indoor plumbing, so you don't actually have to leave. There's refrigeration for foodstuffs, cook inside. Everyone lives a lifestyle that's actually more accommodating than ancient kings used to live. Although they had all kinds of servants, they didn't have every kind of spice they'd ever ask for, could ever ask for. And they also didn't have Amazon Prime, which meant that you can get anything you want at any time. So what is the meaning of renunciation in such an atmosphere? There's a way in which Krishna describes how one should develop an attitude that whatever I'm doing is for Krishna. And actually, I should consider that the work I've been given to do in my life is meant as an offering for the Supreme. And if one thinks like this, one can actually be a renunciate even as one's working in the world. Of course, Krishna also says in the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Karmanyeva dikaraste palishu kadachana makarma pala hetubur mates hungo swakarmani, which means that you have a right to perform your work. And at the same time, you shouldn't be attached to the results of your work. And he also says, does Krishna, that you shouldn't be attached to not doing your duty. So that's an interesting statement, isn't it? People might then think, well, why would I work if I don't claim the fruits of my work? Well, first of all, it's important to consider that we can't really enjoy all the fruits of our work anyway. The Prabhupada used to point out that no matter how much money you make, you can only eat a certain amount. True? Yes. Like if your quota is 4 chapatis, and I'm sorry if you're from South India, I'll say idli or dosa. And maybe you can eat 1 dosa compared to 4 chapatis. I don't know what the equivalents are, but we could do a scientific study and find out. But in any case, if you can eat 4 chapatis, if you make $1 billion, it doesn't mean you can eat 5 chapatis. You can still only eat 4 chapatis. And there's a limitation to how much one can actually enjoy material facility anyway, because everyone is endowed with a particular set of senses that can accommodate a certain amount of material enjoyment. And the news from the Shastra is you're not going to enjoy more than that, and also you're not going to enjoy less than that. In fact, Narada Muni, in his instructions to Srila Vyasadeva and to all of us, says, Tasyaiva heto prayateta kovido nalabhyate yad brahmatam uparyada talabhyate dukavaranyata sukham kalena sarvatra gabhira ramhasa. And that means that there's no need to try extra hard to accommodate yourself here in the material world so that you'll get extra happiness and avoid distress. What do you think the reason he gives is? It's compared to something like genetics. You're born with a certain genetic code that's going to determine a lot about your physical appearance and the way your body works and so forth. On the material side, he's saying that you're going to get a certain set of circumstances, meaning just in general terms, a certain amount of happiness and a certain amount of distress is destined to come your way. And he gives this logical argument, and that is that, well, first of all, let me ask you, have you ever done anything to ward off misery? Or do you pray that you can have a miserable day sometimes? What is the answer? I need help here. A little participation. Yes? We always try to ward off misery, says Kanka. In what ways do people try to ward off misery? Yes, Balaram? By buying stuff. How do you know all these things, Balaram? By buying stuff. This is called retail therapy. I don't feel good, so I go buy more stuff. What are other ways people try to ward off distress? Supplements. Yeah, they buy lots of supplements. You can go through the internet, and then there'll be a little advertising saying this will prolong your life. It's a proprietary formula, which means we're not going to tell you what's in it. And it'll cost you $69.99. That is if you buy a 3-month supply. And do people buy it? Yes. As they're thinking, it'll prolong my life, I'll be happier, and so forth. People also, in Japan, every temple we go to, they sell outside in the gift shop these little talismans. One of them you can hang on one of the protruding parts of your car, because it means that you won't get in an accident. If you keep that talisman, it's been blessed. Anybody here ever do a car puja? What's that about? You don't just hope that your car gets hit. You hope it doesn't get hit and so forth. But does your car ever get hit? Yeah? Okay. So this is Narada Muni's point. He said, no matter how hard you try to ward off distress, it comes anyway of its own accord. But there's a balancing point to that, and that is, even if you don't ask for it, happiness will come also. It'll come of its own accord. That's what he's saying. He said, look at how hard you try to ward off distress, and it comes anyway, right? So then he says, well, happiness is there on the ledger also. It's going to come of its own accord, so you could save yourself some time. You don't have to work so hard to try to invite it. You may do due diligence to make sure that you don't crash your car when you lock it at night, but you don't have to become overly concerned with positioning yourself in the material world to get more happiness and to ward off all distress, because that's already fixed up to some degree. However, he does say that it's important to use your free will to choose yajna or sacrifice for God so that you can actually make advancement spiritually. And that's where you can really apply yourself. And so one of the ways that one can do that is to work for Krishna. And that means that whatever work you're doing, if you dedicate it to the Supreme, what do you think some of the ways of dedicating your work to the Supreme might be that are really tangible? Yes? Sponsoring a kalash. That's really close to home, and we didn't ask him to say that. By the way, we have kalashas where we're going to be doing an abhishek for the Supreme Personality of Godhead on Janmashtami, and they are available right now. Is that right, Aprame? Yeah, so if you use your money as a way to do something for Krishna, this is actually a kind of investment in your spiritual advancement. What other ways might you dedicate your work to Krishna? Really what he was saying is you're giving some of the fruit away. I'm sorry? Bhagavad Gita 9:27. Is that an enigmatic suggestion, or you want to unpack it? And if so, could somebody please give Vijay Damodar Prabhu a microphone?
Thank you. So just reading out. So just getting to the verse, Maharaj, that yat karosi yadastasi yat juhosi dadasi yat yatapasasi konteya tat karash mat arpanam. So all of these are offerings.
Okay, he's referring to this verse, and you'll see before you the English. Krishna suggests, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. So whatever you're doing in your life, including your work, if you dedicate it to Krishna. So I'm asking for tangible ways in which you might demonstratively offer your work to Krishna. What is your suggestion?
Well, look at the practical things that our life is revolving around. One is obviously our jobs. So whatever we get out of that, if we make sure we take the minimum, and everything else, we keep it in Krishna's pocket. And whatever we do need to do, because we have to live our life, even that is an offering to Krishna. For example, if I eat, whatever energy I get, then I spend that on Krishna. Then if I get some accolades out of that, then I give that back to Krishna. So it's a never-ending cycle, and it's like a Fibonacci series, keeps on and on and on. So something like that is possible.
What? Okay. Yes, Mukarvin. Thank you, Vijay Damodar Prabhu.
Maharaj, like practical activity, suppose you are a good web designer, you are like whatever your works, like you are a good manager, you can use the same skills in Krishna service, like temple needs some management, temple needs some activities that you can practically volunteer for your work, that you might be skilled or not just...
Yes. And I was just listening last night and this morning to some memories that devotees had of Srila Prabhupada when they first met him. And some of them described, for instance, Pradyumna Prabhu and his wife described how when they first met Srila Prabhupada, he asked them what their skill set was, and then he immediately engaged them. One of the devotees is named Ambarish. He's a grandson of Henry Ford. So Prabhupada engaged him right away in some service by bringing him around to a lot of the programs where he was talking to large groups of people. And then, although Ambarish said he didn't even understand what Prabhupada was saying because he was speaking in Hindi, he'd then say, Ambarish, and then Ambarish would stand up, and Prabhupada would point out that he's the grandson of Henry Ford, and he took that as a nice service, that he was able to to be shown off like that. And also, Prabhupada found the Fisher Mansion in Detroit and wanted to develop it into a cultural center. So he asked Ambarish if he would purchase it, and he did. So he engaged him in some service, and others who came forward and met Prabhupada immediately, he would ask them if they would do something. For instance, if they were already working, then he asked them if they would contribute some of their time or their talent. Like Pradyumna, as I mentioned, was a very smart person, and Prabhupada engaged him in helping to edit his books and to translate Sanskrit verses and things, because he learned Sanskrit very quickly. So everyone got some engagement, and that's one of the ways in which to connect to Krishna, is to use your talent for some kind of seva, some service. So there are different motivations for service. And can you turn, first of all, I want to introduce the verse to you that Krishna speaks in the 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Tell us what verse number. For the 5 factors of action. There it is. Panchaitani Mahabaho. Karanani Nibodame Sankhe Kratante Proktani Siddhaye Sarvakarmanam. And the translation is, for those, O mighty armed Arjuna, according to the Vedanta, there are 5 causes for the accomplishment of all action. Now learn of these from me. And here's the Prabhupada's purport. A question may be raised that since any activity performed must have some reaction, how is it that the person in Krishna consciousness does not suffer or enjoy the reactions of work? The Lord is citing Vedanta philosophy to show how this is possible. He says that there are 5 causes for all activities, and for success in all activity, one should consider these 5 causes. Sankhya means the stock of knowledge, and Vedanta is the final stock of knowledge accepted by all leading acharyas. Even Shankara accepts Vedanta Sutra as such. Therefore, such authority should be consulted. The ultimate control is invested in the Supersoul, as it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya Chaham Vriddhi Sannivishta. He is engaging everyone in certain activities by reminding him of his past actions. And Krishna-conscious acts done under his direction from within yield no reaction either in this life or after death. This is a great secret of work, as Krishna points out in the Bhagavad Gita earlier, that one who can see action in inaction and inaction in action is wise amongst people. Because there's a way to work in the world, to have things, to be in a material body with all kinds of complex circumstances, but to adjust one's attitude in using those things so that one is not encumbered by them or entangled, as is the usual case. The term samsara, who's familiar with this? Samsara? Samsara really means the process, which sometimes it's described as the process of birth and death. And it means that once I leave one material body, I get another material body, but the reason I get another material circumstance is because of the way I left the last body and the consciousness that I developed over a lifetime. And Krishna consciousness indicates that the real perfection of life is throughout this one lifetime, as much as possible, to develop an awareness of Krishna, our dependence on him, our develop our love for him, and to change our motive for work. And there are various kinds of motivations. Some of them will implicate us more in material consciousness, and others, that is, as we've been discussing, thinking about doing whatever we do for Krishna will bring us to transcendental consciousness. And this samsara is described by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur to be like chain smoking. Have you ever seen a chain smoker? None of you? Oh, okay. Do they have chain smokers in India? They do? They do that there? Well, here's how you do it. You get a cigarette and you light it. At some point, you have to start the first one. And then, before the cigarette finishes, you pull a fresh cigarette from the pack. You put that in your mouth, and then you light the fresh cigarette with the one that's already practically burned to the bottom. And this way, you never have to be without a cigarette. So, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta said that the process of taking one body, giving it up, and taking another body is like chain smoking. So now consider the fact that you're burning this body up right now at 98.6, which is pretty hot. We're burning through this corporeal body, and when it's finished, because of my desire to stay absorbed in material thoughts and activities, I'll accept another one, which is like starting another cigarette before the other one's finished. Your new body gets determined before you even give up the old one by momentum. So this chain smoking process is not very healthy. Either in smoking cigarettes, it's a sure way to ruin one's health. And similarly, spiritual health is destroyed by remaining addicted to work and being the cause of work and enjoying the fruit of work. Therefore, one should give up smoking altogether and take to the process of thinking of oneself as a servant of Krishna and giving the results to Krishna. Then one can be clean and healthy in life, no longer implicated in the karmic reactions of work, and one develops a kind of spiritual freedom. So there are various motives for working. And I would like to list some of them for your consideration. So, one of the motives is fear. So if we act out of fear, then we're sure to make mistakes. And in fact, even when a motive is considered in a legal case, if someone gave some evidence based on fear, for instance, they were under duress because the interviewer told them that I'm going to break your fingers if you don't tell me something. And then they say whatever they say, and then it's not really considered evidence because they were under duress and fear. So if I'm implicated in the cycle of work and being attached to material things, the Srimad Bhagavatam says, Bhayam dvitiya abhinibeshatasya ishad apetasya viparyayo smriti. That this is the cause of fear, being absorbed just in working for maintaining myself and sustaining a comfortable life in the material world. This is called a binibeshata, or being absorbed in material life, and this is a cause for fear. So naturally, when I'm motivated by fear, I'm going to make a lot of bad choices. And it's not a very comfortable position to be in, right? Say yes. Okay, 3 people said yes. Okay, so above fear is a prospect. Prospect means that, and it's very usual in this world, that people move and they're motivated. Motivation means movement. It means, why do I move? Why do I bother to get up in the morning in the first place? And if I'm motivated by prospect, which means profit, means what do I get out of this personally? This is very usual. This is how most people move in the world, even animals. They get up because they're hungry or they're in debt and they want to do something to alleviate that. And so they're looking for some kind of tit for tat. This is compared to paid content. They want something in return. So that's another kind of motivation. Would you agree? Yes. That would be a highly motivating factor in this world? Yes? Thank you. The next above that is duty. How many of you here have ever had a hard choice to make and then you did your duty? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Very good. You did your duty. And this doing of duty is considered to be good. In fact, you'll find oftentimes in movies or literature, drama, someone who is dutiful is considered well in society's eyes because they rose above their own personal prospect as a motive for activity, and they did something that was good for everybody because they did their duty. And that's a kind of a heroic thing to do, actually. But really, in the ultimate end, duty means you did what you were supposed to do, not what you wanted to do. Does that sound accurate to you? Thank you. I'm getting a lot of support over here from the Pundit circle. And then finally, and this list is given by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the highest motivation is out of love. And this motivation, you could say that he didn't have to do it, but he did it anyway. And that was because of a sense of deep gratitude or love for the object of service a person was serving. So there are various ways in which we may be motivated, and the highest motivation is to, first of all, the higher rungs of motivation, as we have all discussed here so far and agreed upon, are duty. This relate to dharma, the meaning that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, even though if it doesn't feel very comfortable, sometimes I do it anyway. And then above that is that I have gratitude, and I've developed a love, appreciation for the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His devotees. I have a sense that Krishna's maintaining me. He's actually my best friend. And Krishna says this in the Bhagavad Gita, where he says, Suridam Sarvabhutanam, I'm the friend, the best friend of all living entities. The Vedas say, Nityo Nityanam, Chaitanas Chaitananam, Eko Bahunam Yovididhati Kaman. That the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the one who's sustaining everybody else. Every ant here in Mountain View right now, whether he or she knows it or not, and they probably don't, is being sustained by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Would you agree? Yes. They're getting all kinds of facility, nice ground to build a housing projects below the earth, free without any permit considerations, and lots of real estate for ants here in Mountain View, plus tons of food. It just gets naturally distributed to the ants. They find it here, there, and everywhere. But the Vedas say that's coming from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What to speak of everybody else? The squirrels are having a feast here in California around this time of year, plums, peaches, and they just find them on the trees and they eat. And human beings, yes, this is a point made again and again by the Vedas. If you see how elephants are getting tons of food every day, because they have to eat a lot to maintain their large bodies, but it's supplied. Ants, they get enough to satisfy them, so why wouldn't a human being get a special facility? If one is careful to notice that we're getting all these kinds of facilities, one might start to develop a kind of gratitude. And this is something that Shukadeva Goswami points out at the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam to his disciple Parikshit Maharaj. He said, take a look at the universe and see how charitable it is. There are all kinds of trees providing fruit and shade and wood, and there are mountains with streams. There are places that are provided naturally here in the world that are sustaining. What to speak of the fact that these very bodies are being maintained for us. Digestion, homeostasis, all these things take place automatically as a facility given to us. And where is it coming from? It's coming from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if one is able to become more aware, beyond even duty, that I have an appreciation for the fact that I'm being given facility at every second by the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be alive. My very consciousness is coming from Him. And as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Ishvara sarva bhutanam hrideshara junatishtati brahmanayan sarva bhutani yantra rudrani mayaya. As I travel around on the car of this body, Krishna, who's the Ishvara within the heart, is supplying intelligence to help us to fulfill our desires. And He fulfills any of our desires, whether He thinks it's a good idea or not, because He remains neutral. So now, in this section of the Bhagavad Gita, it's mentioned that with the facility of various factors, including the senses that we've been given, the intelligence that we're provided, we may desire whatever we like. And ultimately, through these various factors, culminating in the supreme cause, or the super cause, which is the super soul within our hearts, who ultimately orchestrates everything to fulfill our desire, we can go wherever we like, we can develop in whichever way we wish. And to that end, in the Gita, Krishna says, Yanti deva vrata devan pitran yanti pratir vrata bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti mam yajinopi mam. Which basically means he's telling Arjuna that we can go wherever we like if we put our mind to it, because Krishna will fulfill our desires through the various agencies of the material world. Now, we receive a certain kind of facility in this world based on our past karma and the momentum that we have coming into this life. But it doesn't mean that we're stuck with it. In the present day, there's a a lot of scientific study into epigenetics, now called behavioral epigenetics. And it points out that although we have a genetic code naturally when we get this body, that it doesn't necessarily mean that the genetics we've been born with will determine everything about what happens to us health-wise, longevity-wise, and so forth, because a lot of it depends on how we behave ourselves. If we change our behavior, we're finding out, then the genetic code may not act the way it was set up in the beginning. So in a similar way, although we have a destiny from our last life based on what we've already done, we have a certain set of karma, as I was describing before, and that may sound fatalistic, that why do anything? Because it's already determined. I kind of indicated something like that in the beginning. However, the great sages and the Shastras all say that don't let this slow you down, because you are a free soul. You have the same kind of independence ultimately that Krishna has, only in minute quantity. And you can be self-determining. So Krishna consciousness is the most mature understanding of how to work in this world out of love for God, appreciating the ways in which He's facilitating us, and more than that He's actually our best friend. And also it considers the scheme of the material world and how it actually works. How we interact with it makes a huge difference in the way things turn out. And ultimately, we are agents who can make a free choice to modify our life. And so modified epigenetics applies to us in the way of our destiny and our karma. If we modify the way we approach life, the way we think about it, our attitudes, the way we apportion the kinds of things that we're given in this world, if we do that in a highly sophisticated or refined way, understanding our position in this world, then we can actually live the best possible life in the human form and take full advantage of it. Ultimately, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated, Samsadir Haritoshanam. The real purpose of all activities, no matter what duty you've been given, no matter what kind of karma you have now, whether you may be a man or a woman or an elephant, is to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead by your activities. And that comes to the point of bhakti. Because if you learn the science of how to please Krishna through your activities, then naturally, by pleasing Krishna, you'll be happy. Because when Krishna is pleased by your loving offerings in bhakti, then you'll also feel the reciprocation that Krishna gives. And again, Prabhupada quotes throughout his books a famous verse from the 9th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati Taraham Bhaktyu Paritam Ashnami Pariyatatmanaha. That he says, if one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, fruit, or water, I'll accept it. And this is a very intimate relationship, offering something to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and having Him consciously accept it based on your motivation, your gratitude to give it to Him out of love. That's an extremely refined way to live and to think and to act. This is bhakti. So the International Society for Krishna Consciousness teaches a process through which anyone living in Silicon Valley can modify his or her life around the principles given directly by Krishna himself in the Bhagavad Gita, to live a life that's aligned properly through motivation and action, so that one will be happy and prosperous, healthy, spiritually fit, and at the end of this life, one can give up the process of chain smoking once and for all and go back home, back to Godhead. What do you think? Should we try it? Okay. So there's an initial public offering on this offer that was made by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just a few minutes ago, actually. It was just opened in geological time. What's 500 years anyway? It goes by in the blink of an eye. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made this initial public offering for anyone. If you'd like to be on the ground floor of the best opportunity that's ever been offered in the history of the universe, then you can join Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement called the Sankirtan movement. So what you get basically by investing is the perfect process through which you can be connected to Krishna, and you also will develop a kind of spiritual wealth, because the Sankirtan movement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is geared upon the idea that it should be given to as many people as possible. And so you're on the ground floor of what we have as insider information. This initial public offering, IPO, is the best deal that you're ever going to get. So we're really a brokerage here. And we're offering this IPO for anybody who wants to sign up. And we have ways in which that you can invest. First of all, you can invest your money, because it ultimately, as I proved earlier, it doesn't do you that much good after a certain amount anyway. If you can eat 4 chapatis, even if you make $1 billion here in Silicon Valley, you can still only eat 4 chapatis. However, if you invest it in Krishna, then just like the great personalities of the Srimad Bhagavatam, like Dhruva Maharaj, who was a prince, and he decided to give his whole life to Krishna, even when he was 5 years old. Or you might remember Bali Maharaj. Do you remember Bali Maharaj? He owned everything. He had the kingdom of heaven and so forth, but he decided very consciously, even though he was given advice by his so-called spiritual master, who was giving advice contrary to what Krishna would say in the Bhagavad Gita, which is surrender to me. His spiritual master was telling him something materialistic. He said, well, wait a minute, if you actually surrender to Krishna, then what am I going to get? That's what he was thinking. But he told Bali Maharaj, be careful, because this Vishnu, he's actually a real cheater. He'll take everything. And Bali Maharaj went ahead and did it. So he's glorified, has been for eons, as a great personality. Now, I guarantee you there's millions and billions of living entities who had lots and lots of material facility throughout their lives. And we have no idea who they were because they're not famous. You want to know why they're not famous? Only 2 people want to know. Everybody else, cover your ears. Okay, so here's why they are not famous. Because they kept their wealth to the bitter end. And people found it in mattresses. They hunted down all the accounts they had them in, and they had a hard time finding where the bank account number was. They couldn't find the key to the safety deposit box because the person was hoarding it all. And they thought, I'll just keep it. But the ironical fact is that they weren't able to keep it anyway. It was all taken away. And so the secret that these great sages know is, if you give your wealth, your life, your intelligence to Krishna, you'll become eternally famous. But if you try to hold on to these assets, then they'll be taken anyway. And you'll be unnamed, unknown, unfamous, actually even infamous for having held on to it, because the Shastra doesn't look well upon those who are misers. So the best idea really is to sign up for the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu investment, which means connect your life to the Sankirtan movement. Give a portion of your wealth to help spread the Sankirtan movement, and you'll become not only famous, you'll feel satisfied, but also you'll find unlimited facility in this world by doing the sacrifice for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And you'll also never be out of a job, because in the Sankirtan movement, we promise jobs, jobs, jobs for everybody. People worry oftentimes about their employment. But I guarantee you one thing. If you learn the Bhagavad Gita and you think of your main purpose in life to propagate the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, which is, most of you, or I would guess, are from India, just by looking around. This is your birthright. You come from a land that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described as the place in which everybody knows the basic spiritual principles. And therefore he said, Bharata Bhumate Hoila Manasa Janma Jar, Janma Sarta Kari Para Upakar. He said, therefore it's your duty to do good for others as much as possible. Use your God-given intelligence, which is considerable, and use whatever means, wealth, energy you have to help do good for others. And the best that you can do for others is not buy them clothes. Heavens, there's enough clothes in the world. People are throwing them away. They buy clothes, they put them on the hanger, they wear them once, and then they ship them back to some place where they're recycled and then shipped back here again. People are not satisfied when you feed them necessarily, because they just get hungry again. But what people are starving for is spiritual knowledge, especially from an authoritative source, something that's actionable, and that's the Bhagavad Gita. So sign up for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's program, and you'll have the best deal that you've ever had. And then finally, the most important process of bhakti is the way in which we fix our minds. As the mind has to have a satisfactory place to give its attention. And there's been unlimited research. Now, you may just have to accept this, but you can do the research yourself. But the fact is that great saints, sages, and incarnations of God have given detailed information about the best place to place your attention. Because that may be a quandary. Where should I give my attention throughout the day and throughout my life? What object can I look at? What one thing can I concentrate upon and get the highest return on my attention? And the conclusion might surprise you, but it's actually to fix your mind on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan. If you think of Krishna and meditate on Krishna, then as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana pariyupasate tesham nityabdi yuktanam yogakshemam bahamyaham. If you absorb your mind in thinking of Krishna, he says, thinking of me, then he said, I'll just personally take care of you. And you'll always feel blissful and happy by doing this. Now, there is a very practical way to do this. And it is the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. This is an open prayer. It's a prayer that is actually meant for the whole world. Anyone can partake in it. It's written in the vocative form. And it has 16 words, 32 syllables. This you can meditate on every day as a kind of open prayer. You can do it by sitting and repeating it. Or you can sing it in a group, and you'll get the best result of all the bhakti processes from chanting. And the mantra goes like this. Please repeat after me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And wherever this mantra is chanted, people become happy. Of course, some people become angry and they run away, but that's natural. People become happy, and they get the mantra stuck in their head, and they walk around telling their friends that I just heard the Hare Krishnas, and I can't stop thinking of Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. sometimes they say the mantra wrong. There was a guy who was doing video work down in Los Angeles, and he just happened to video the Los Angeles Ratha Yatra. And at the end, he said, I can't get this mantra out of my head. What am I going to do now? So that's a good thing. This mantra itself is non-different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he's lucky he got it stuck in his head. Don't worry about getting all kinds of other things stuck in your head. If you put the Maha Mantra in, it'll push the other things out gradually. So this fulfills Krishna's instruction in the Bhagavad Gita, Manmana Bhava Mat Bhakto. Just think of me. So if you chant Hare Krishna and you align your work with Krishna, give the fruit of your work as much as possible to help spread the sankirtan movement, and organize your life around this principle of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement, then you'll be happy and everything will be successful. Okay? Om Tat Sat. Now, this is a new timing. We thank everybody for coming during the new time. We adjusted it to make things more seamless. And I think that we have another few minutes left, right? Like a half an hour. 5 minutes only? 5:30, okay. So, first of all, who here has a question they'd like to ask to clarify anything that we've said so far? Yes, Prabhu. Now, we're going to pass you the mic as quickly as possible so that everyone can hear you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful lecture. Can you please more explain about the motives that we talk, that fear, prospect, duty, and love? How we can employ these motives in our bhakti, like day-to-day life? Because
yeah, we can barely hear you. Hold it close.
the motives, the fear, prospect, duty, and love, how we can employ in our day-to-day life, bhakti life?
Mainly by association. We develop the same kind of motivation that we of those we associate with, and you can see this very clearly in the story of the Brihat Bhagavatamrita of a devotee, fledgling devotee at first, called Gopakumar, and it tells us his journey, his spiritual journey. Wherever he went, he met people who he considered to be following some spiritual practices, and he moved in with them and started associating, and he would develop the same kinds of motivations and practices that they had. And then sooner or later he would get some outside help to remind him that actually there's something a little better than that. So through, first of all, aligning oneself properly in good association, and also hearing regularly from the Bhagavad Gita. Because Krishna again and again reminds us of what is the most refined kind of motivation. And you'll read throughout the Gita that, for instance, your determination, which has a lot to do with how you're motivated, is really affected by the three modes of material nature and all the other things that we do. And he describes the science of association, and by adjusting our association to those who are highly motivated, or I should say motivated by higher principles, then we start to take on those qualities too and develop them. Are there any other questions? Yes.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Prabhu, it's like a very basic question, maybe you must have answered many times.
We give $100 for every basic question that's been answered many times. But I have to see if I have 100 with me.
Yeah, but I'm very curious to know that why is it so easy for mind to get carried away? I understand that japa is very important, and when I do morning japa, especially in the morning 6 o'clock in Brahm Muhurat, I feel that you do feel very blissful, because after chanting for many years, I feel that I have developed taste for chanting, and I do feel very nice and very blissful. But the moment the problem comes in life, why does it's very easy for mind to get carried away? for the emotional thing. Why even we have good hearing or good chanting, but still why it doesn't stay for longer time? Why does it go away so soon?
Well, first of all, it's the nature of the mind. The mind tends to be chanchala. And it's also important to continue taking medicine even when you think the disease is finished. And if a doctor gives you antibiotics, he or she will tell you the same thing. Say, here's 12 days worth of antibiotics. Even if you feel better on day 6, don't stop taking them. You have to take the full course, right? Doctors? Any doctors in here? Say yes. Patients? Patients, doctors, you know. So in a similar way, as long as we have a mind and a body, we have to be attentive and continue the process of chanting Hare Krishna. And when big tests come and we seem to be disturbed in mind, then we'll have a recourse. Once we develop a taste for chanting, even when we become very disturbed by something, we'll know where to take refuge. Most people don't. In fact, I remember growing up, I used to see movies and television shows, whenever anything bad would happen, people always ended up in the bar. You know, that's like a Hollywood stereotype. Something bad happens and they go like, I need some whiskey. And that's like the worst thing that you can do, is just take shelter of intoxication or something else. But devotees actually learn how to take shelter of Krishna even when times become very hard. And you might get tests throughout your lifetime, but you're a very accomplished person. Have you had tests when you were in school? Did they test you?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Were any of them really hard?
Yeah,
What was the hardest one you ever took? Was it the SATs?
Not the SAT. I'm not from here, from India.
Well, what did they give you in India, the equivalent?
Especially
What's the
doing
hardest
my masters.
test?
Doing my masters very hard.
Yeah, it's hard, right? Do you wish they just gave you like a one-question test, like what's your name? And then, you know, that would really prepare you for the professional world, right? Like you go in for the interview, it's like, do you know anything about quantum physics? And I was like, I just know my name. So Krishna knows that we're actually capable of so much more. But I have a tendency to become comfortable in a routine and take the path of least resistance, so forth. So he's very kind and he gives us tests. And when we're tested, we may be pushed beyond what we thought we could do. And in those cases, if we learn throughout this lifetime that the recourse is again and again to take shelter of Krishna, especially by chanting Hare Krishna, it's very practical, then we'll be able to overcome harder and harder tests and we'll become more and more qualified. So you can thank Krishna every time that happens and take shelter of the holy name. We'll take one or two more questions. Yes.
You mentioned that people have their karmas to go through, right? They have to live whatever karma they have in their lifetime, and if they have the right attitude, then they can live the best version, or they can have their karma, but they can still live the best version of it, right, of their life. So would you be able to give that as would you be able to give an example from Mahabharata where someone had to suffer, but they had the right attitude and they basically lived the best version?
Well, what I was saying also was in the fledgling science, the budding science of behavioral epigenetics, there's an idea that whatever genetic code we have doesn't necessarily have to be enacted because we might adjust our behaviors. So in a similar way, when we adjust our behavior in this lifetime, we may minimize the ways in which our karma is enacted. But the best way of all is mentioned in the scripture again and again. In fact, there's a verse in the Padma Purana that says, Aprarabdha palam paptam kutam bijam palonmukam kramenaiva priliante Vishnu bhakti ratatmanam. There's all different kinds of karma coming into the garden of our heart, and it's very complicated because there's seeds and there are actually plants that are growing, there are plants that are producing fruit. And the cycle of karma is extremely complex. But if somebody takes to Vishnu Bhakti, serving Lord Vishnu or Krishna, then that karma is eradicated. And Krishna takes the karma away. Karmani nirdahati kintu cha bhakti bhajam. If one is engaged in bhakti bhajan, worshiping God through loving service, then he takes away your karma. Now, why does it seem like there's still some reaction? Part of the explanation is by momentum. When you pull out a fan, it'll spin for a while, even though it doesn't have any more electricity. And it's just winding down. And as long as you don't plug it back in again, sooner or later it's going to stop. And another explanation is given in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and that is that devotees don't really have karma. They have Krishna's personal direction in their life. And whatever seeming reaction we get that looks like karma is actually Krishna giving us a custom-made kind of situation that resembles karma, but is actually meant just for us so that we overcome the last vestige of attachment we have to the material world, which actually our attachment causes us misery, so Krishna is very kindly helping to take it away. So if you live with the attitude that whatever is coming to me is a token by Krishna's mercy and that it's meant for my purification, then you'll be properly aligned with the attitude that the Bhagavatam suggests. And as being able to take the lesson, you'll be able to take the lesson from everything that happens to you and use it to become stronger in devotional service.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll take one more question. You have it? Okay.
Prabhu, this is not on the chapter that you were talking today. This is about Prabhupada's book, where he actually mentions that eating meat is all right. I read it a few times, and it says the same thing. Could you please expand on that? Thank you.
Well, could you give a reference?
I have a link. I wasn't looking for it. It just came up. And he says certain human beings can offer to Lord Kali and then have the meat. And also certain people at birth can have meat.
Sure. Well, the meaning here, or the implication, or even what Srila Prabhupada's articulated, is not translated as it's okay to eat meat. But in the context of wherever Prabhupada talks about offering meat to Goddess Kali, this is actually explaining how the Vedic process works. People start from the level that they're at right now, and they are better to regulate their senses with the kinds of habits they have now through a Vedic process, and then gradually become purified. So the example Prabhupada sometimes gives about eating meat. So meat is called mangsa. So mangsa actually means the mantra that you're supposed to say to the goat before you kill the goat, if you're into that kind of stuff. You whisper in its little ear, "Excuse me, little goat, I'm about to kill you, but actually, in your next life, you get to kill me." And there's a mantra that you're supposed to say, and a ritual, and if somebody does that enough times, they might come to their senses, actually, that, oh, why would I do this if killing the goat means that I'm going to be killed by the goat in my next life? In other words, the Vedic rituals are meant to accommodate people and their attachments, and then purify them gradually. One of the ways they do that is that even if somebody's asking for some materialistic facility in this world through the karmic process listed in the Vedas, that person then sees that there's a tangible result and begins to get more faith in the scripture. And as one does, one might inquire, where does the scripture come from? Who's the controlling deity of the scripture? And gradually, through that process, one comes to develop faith in Ishvar. Certainly, these kinds of things are not very high-minded. Nonetheless, they're included in the huge project of the Vedas in order to accommodate people in lower modes of nature so that they gradually get purification. After all, better to follow some ritualistic process mentioned in the scripture, even if it's a very low-minded type of thing, and be regulated and then gradually develop faith incrementally in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, than to simply act wantonly or to act whimsically without any guidance. Does that give any help? There are regulated ways that people may do things like that. They're not highly recommended at all. Even there are all kinds of rituals through which somebody engages in sense gratification. This is called Pravritti Marg. The Shastras describe two paths. One is called Pravritti Marg and the other is called Nivritti Marg. So one is the path of enjoyment and the other is the path of giving up the world. Now, how many people here want to just completely give up the world right now? Just raise your hand because we have a table outside that's going to be collecting all your stuff. Okay, so you want the Pravritti Marg instead of the Nivritti Marg. So on the Pravritti Marg, there's concessions. For instance, the Grihastha ashram is a concession because actually, engaging in sex and so forth is very binding to the material world, but there's a regulated way that it's done through the Vedic process so that one can gradually give it up. That's what Varnashram is meant for. And there are various ways that people who are addicted to eating meat, we don't just leave them, just as much as any civilized government or city doesn't leave people who are addicted to opioids just to fend for themselves. The government and other entities are meant to offer some kind of facility for the people in general so that they can improve themselves, even those who have fallen into really bad habits. And the Vedas are like that. They offer all kinds of facilities. Somebody's addicted to something, say, okay, here's where you start. There's always a big public debate that somebody in a government agency offers help to people who are addicted to heroin, and then everyone says, no, you're encouraging them to take heroin. I said, no, actually, they have to start somewhere to come in and actually get association and information and not get communicable diseases from sharing needles and so forth in order to improve themselves. So the Vedas also recognize that there are people who have hit the bottom of the modes of nature and they need to be helped. So they start at a certain level and they're given certain concessions, but it's not that it's okay to eat meat. It's not a good idea at all. Does that help? Yes. Okay. Thank you. So now we're actually going to try some chanting because Hare Krishna is an open prayer and you're free to chant anytime you want, anytime day or night. And it doesn't matter which room of the house you're in, or you can be at the office, in your car, you can chant Hare Krishna, and you can even go outside, and especially in America, anywhere you want, pretty much, you can set up a kirtan and you can broadcast it to people walking by so they can hear chant Hare Krishna and start chanting too. We just did it, when was that? Last night, just last night. We did it down in Lytton Plaza. We got a spot down there. We've had it for the last 30 years or something. And is it 30 years? 20 years? 19? Since 2001 anyway. And we've been going there and chanting Hare Krishna in public. And many people joined the chanting last night. People often dance and they become mesmerized by the chanting, and there's great benefit to this, because if anybody hears Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rupa Goswami, one of the great teachers of bhakti, says, and backed up by many shastras, that when people hear that, he says, Yadabaso Pyudyan Kabalita Bhava Dvanta Vibhavo, Drisham Tatvandanam Api Dishiti Bhakti Pranayanim. Such a person then is able to actually get a sense for what is the love for God. They start to awaken to the process of bhakti. And if that's not a good idea, I don't know what is. I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff being offered down there. on University Avenue, I'm sorry to say. This morning I went for a walk in Burlingame early in the morning, and they were setting up this street fair where they sell all kinds of stuff. It was early in the morning, so none of the vendors are there. All the tents are occupying Burlingame Avenue. From, I guess, the night before, they fold them down. And I was looking, and I was just thinking, how much junk is available here in the material world? And what a waste of time just walking around buying stuff that you don't need. I mean, I saw, you can buy all kinds of baubles. They had things for your fingers, your toes, and decorating this, and all kinds of weird stuff to eat and drink. And the soul's wandering around the universe doing all kinds of stuff that's counterproductive and doesn't even know it. It's just wasting time, basically. So when somebody like that hears the powerful mantras of the Vedas, which are all consolidated into one mantra, in the Hare Krishna mantra, it actually wakes up some part of them. And if they're able to then, for instance, get a Bhagavad Gita, like a lot of people did last night, and read about it and get the two things going at the same time, they can actually achieve a level in which they can start a home practice in bhakti and really make something out of their human form of life. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaudamai. Who's got the Wampers? Any Wampers? Shunyavadi Paschatya Desh Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, thanks a lot. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Go Premanande, Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. So now we are going to have a Arati ceremony, which is really beautiful. It's the most beautiful thing you'll find here in Silicon Valley. Aesthetically pleasing, and it's a ceremony which is suggested and authorized by the parts of the Vedas called the Pancharatra. There's a way in which great sages like Narada Muni have gleaned from the Vedas processes which directly connect us in bhakti to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One is the Pancharatric system, which includes the worship of the form, attending to the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The form of the Lord is absolute, so it's not that he's a representation or a statue, but he actually is the Supreme because he invests all his energy in archa, which means his manifest form, so that we can see him in various so-called material elements, but they're transformed into spiritual elements by his mercy. And this is an authorized process just as much as when you mail a letter, you go through an authorized process by putting the right stamp, putting it in the right box. You don't put it in any box. So when we worship Krishna, he's directly accepting our services. And the service here is chanting before him, offering prayers, and according to the Shastras, even dancing for the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a kind of very wonderful offering you can make for the Lord. So we're going to clear all these asanas out of the way. We're even going to roll up this rug, and we're going to make plenty of space for everybody here to offer their love to the Supreme Personality of Godhead during the Arati ceremony. And thank you very much, everyone who joined us here tonight. After the Arati, there'll be a couple of quick announcements, and then there'll be prasadam for everybody, not just here, but anyone in Silicon Valley. So call your friends and tell them to get on down here as soon as possible. Thank you very much. Gaur Premanande Haribo. Hare Krishna. Same. Hi, Dave. Nice to meet you. Same. Hari Hari Hari. Hari Hari. Hari Hari. Hari Hari. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Prachadine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Shatyareshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna. Govinda Jai Jaya, Gopala Jai Jaya. Govinda Jai Jaya, Gopala Jai Jaya. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopala Jai Jai. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopala Jai Jai. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopala 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 Jai Jai. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur, Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur, Haribo. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Prevrajakacharya Stultar Shishimad Bhai Charanada Vindabhaktivedanta Sai Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Prevrajakacharya Stultar Shishimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Maharaj Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnavini Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Zikoho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gokupina Shyamakund Radhakund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki. Jamuna Devi Ganga Devi Ki. Samaveda Bhaktivinoda Ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Go Premanande Hari Hari Om.
Hare Krishna. Namaste Nara Shinghaya. Namaste Nara Shinghaya. Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha. Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha. Bahina Shingar Dayena Shingar. Bahina Shingar Dayena Shingar. Onare Shingamadin Sharanam Prapadim. Onare Shingamadin Sharanam Prapadim. Tava Kara Kamalavadinakam Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Tanu Bringam Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Tava Kara Kamalavadinakam Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringam Jagadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Tanubringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha Jaya Narahari Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha Jaya Narahari Jaya Bhakta Prahlad Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Bhakta Prahlad Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitangara Haribo 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 Nitangara Haribo Bhakti Vigyanatha Nrsimhadev Bhagavan ki Bhakta Shramani Prahlad Maharaj ki Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Janai Gaur Premanande
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Welcome everybody to this wonderful Sunday Feast program at ISKCON of Silicon Valley. How are you all feeling today? This is the second week where we have implemented the time change for the Sunday feast. Have you all noticed it? And do you like it? Yes? Okay, very good. And how was the first day of Sunday school for this academic year? Can the kids answer? Okay, I get a very mild response. Maybe they're still getting used to the classes and the academic environment. But we had a very wonderful lecture and discourse this afternoon from His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu. And the highlight of the lecture, if I can summarize in one sentence, is that you give everything that you have, or try, endeavor to give everything that you have to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement. Right? He talked about the IPO, the public offering, and the return on investments that you're likely to get by doing so. So we look forward to your wholehearted participation in Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement throughout the year. And we are at such an important juncture now that we can take full advantage of this message that we got today. So I'd like to begin by acknowledging our speaker for today, His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu, and my slides don't move. So let's give him a big round of applause. Let's also thank Avantika for leading wonderful Narsimdev prayers. And we also would like to thank Ramanand Sakaprabhu for bringing today's broadcast for online audience. I have no confirmed sponsors for today's feast, so we'd like to just put it across at this time. If any of you feels inspired to sponsor today's specifically Sunday feast program, you can let me know now or later, and we have some special return gifts for you. Okay, with that, does anybody? Okay, there it moves now. With that, actually, we should spend most of our time during announcements for going over the festival logistics and how to get ready and prepared in the best possible manner for Friday, the 23rd, for Janmashtami. So, Hansapriya Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So are we all ready and excited for Shri Krishna Janmashtami? Haribol. We are very excited that you are here and we're going to celebrate together. So we are counting moments to get to that point. Before I go into the logistic, I wanted to just bring you to the few housekeeping notes. We do want to let you know that our devotees, if you can look out for the email from Radha Kripa Prabhu. Is he here? And he's right in the back. If you would please, everyone look at the Radha Kripa Prabhu. He will send out the emails. So basically what he's trying to tell you sweetly is that do not park on the Latham Street or any apartments on the Latham Streets, otherwise your car will be towed away. We also wanted to let you know that we do have a very exciting program for your kids throughout the day, and especially in the evening from 5 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. We have a senior center where you will have a lot of space for your kids to play, and is headed by Govind Charan Prabhu and Sukheshwari Mataji. So they will have lots of prasadam and good prasadam. So you want to make sure that your kids get a little play area because it's going to be the long day. It's going to be till midnight. We also would like to request you that if you have any special needs, do let us know. We would like to accommodate. We want to hear from you that how can be service to you. And all throughout the day, we're going to have a program. And the most exciting part is we start at 4 a.m. and we go. This is the only day that you can go till 1 a.m. So please be part of it. Get lots of rest and be hydrated and take care of yourself because it's going to be crowded, stuffy. So just make sure that you're physically fit and spiritually excited and be ready to take all the nectar you get on that day. And this is one of my favorite part that we're going to have for the core congregation members and extended friends and family, Abhishek at 10 a.m. in the morning. And it's going to be headed by Vaisheshika Prabhu and Mother Nirkula. So they will be bathing Lordship for you. So you can kalash whatever you have sponsored. You come with that kalash, give the water to the Vaisheshika Prabhu, and he will bathe the deities on your behalf. So we do not want you to miss out this wonderful opportunity, so please look out for it. All the congregation members, Abhishek is assigned, dedicated at 10 a.m. So please avoid doing it in the evening because we want to make sure that all other services are continuing smoothly so we can take care of our guests very nicely. So without delay, I wanted to show you very quick opportunity where if you have not got a chance to sponsor or be part of any services, we have 32 teams and 180 plus volunteers. And if we have missed out reaching out to you, do let us know where we can make you part of this festival so you can be wonderfully engaged in the service. So with that, I'm going to have Priya Kishori show us a very quick video. And if I can get help from back to just dim the lights in the back, right there. The right side. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Priya Kishori, for putting a wonderful video together. So it requires everyone to help to put us this festival together. And every little help goes very long way. And I will have our Vaisheshika Prabhu elaborate the importance and benefit and privilege that we have to be part of this yajna.
Well, as I was watching the video, I saw pictures of Srila Prabhupada offering the Arati at Krishna Balaram Mandir. That was in 1975. And most of the devotees who were in ISKCON were there at that time. And Srila Prabhupada started temples all over the world in order to give everyone an opportunity to give their services to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's such a rare opportunity. And I'm very compelled by the very individualized ways that we can offer. Because just thinking about, like for instance, sponsoring a Mangal Arati on Janmashtami, or one of the other offerings throughout the day, the decorations for the deity. I like that one about the shoe seva. Krishna himself at the Rajasuya Yajna, if you know from the Mahabharata, he took it upon himself to greet everybody, to wash the feet of the guests coming in, and so forth. So all these are sacred services, and Janmashtami is an opportunity. It's one of those times that when you hear about a sale that's 100% off or 99% off, you go that day, you don't go the next day. So similarly, having an opportunity to give something very meaningful, or at least something that is dear to us, to Krishna on that day. And money, of course, is a token that we can do that with, but it's something you'll remember always. If you want to know how to keep your mind fixed on the altar, just put most of it in the hundi, and when you go home, you'll be thinking, why did I put my money all in the hundi? And you'll be thinking of Krishna. It's a very practical thing, and as I mentioned in the lecture earlier, money comes and goes, but when you're able to give it to Krishna on his birthday, then it has a long-lasting effect in one's life. So this is a fully volunteer temple. Everyone that's been here since the beginning is simply working, some devotees working every single day of their lives to make sure that this program goes on. And it's for the benefit of the whole world. So whatever you put into the offering for this Janmashtami will increase the fire of devotional service here and of sankirtan, and it will spread it all over Silicon Valley and the world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much, Vaisheshika Prabhu. With that, if you have a burning desire to pledge something, please raise your hand. And also I would like to introduce Hari Sankirtan Prabhu, Suryakun Prabhu, and Mayapur Prabhu, who is leading this effort to make sure that we have everything that we need to make this festival successful. So please, they will be also outside, and do look out their booth, and if any questions that you have about any sponsoring, do ask them as well. Is there anyone who would like to make a pledge? I just don't want to put you on the spot, but everything is welcome.
If I understood you correctly, everything that is available for donation is now on that grid?
Yes, that's right. So if you sponsor, we will have your name go up on the spreadsheet. And the certain names you will see, but those are in a portion of it. It's not wholly sponsored. So we are looking for the co-sponsors. Or if you want to be portion, you want to sponsor completely, you can sponsor like a whole outfit or a whole midnight offering, prasadams. So do let us know. I will personally would like to sponsor a jewelry for Radharani.
Haribol.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. If you have any questions about how you can sponsor, the ways you can make payment, we have various ways which are convenient to you. And on top of everything that you donate towards the temple, it's all tax deductible. We'll get the tax receipt at the end of the year, and you can claim it in your taxes. So whatever you give, maybe 50% comes back to you in terms of refund. So it depends on the amount and your tax situation. So, and if you feel that it's a big amount you can't donate at one time, we can set you up for some monthly payments as well. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Suryakun Prabhu.
Can we review in just the slide form one more time? Because the video went by pretty quickly.
Sure. Priya Krishna, maybe get that, please.
So let's see. Go through the slides. If one has money, it should be. Go back. Not too fast. Go back. It should be used to push forward the Krishna conscious movement so that all of human society will become happy, prosperous, and hopeful of being promoted back home, back to Godhead. Next. Mangal Artik Boga. Really fast. 1,500 only. Okay? So Mangal Artik starts at 4:30 a.m. And as the name suggests, it's the most auspicious artik of the day. Shringar, 1008. The artik, last one was for the boga, right? Yes. Yes. Keep going so everyone can see it. Raj boga. Hari Sankirtan, you read them out. You have
Utpanna Bhog.
Say something about it.
It's the evening Bhog, right?
Okay.
Mataji? The evening one.
I'll help him out. I'll be partner. So Uttapan Bhoga is actually very beautiful. In the afternoon, Lord goes to rest around 1 p.m. And then he wakes up at 4 o'clock. And then he gets this wonderful offering, which is made of like 6-7 praps in ahimsa ghee, and it cooked by the Brahmana, and that gets offered to the Lord. And right after that is followed by the Arati. So Uttapan Arati is like when you have the child wakes up and you know how nicely you offer this wonderful Arati. So this is a wonderful offering of the Arati that happens at 4 p.m. I mean, there are certain prayers also that they sing, like at Rajbhog time, they sing the Rajbhog Arati. And if you hear the meanings and understand the wordings of each prayers, it's like heart-touching that, you know, he sits with his cowherd boy friends and they eat together. And so it's a wonderful offerings, Artis, so Tapan is one of that Arti. So Sandhya Bhoga is offered around 6:30 p.m. to the lordships. That's again is prepared by the wonderful brahmanas and wonderful offerings of ahimsa products. And it's a variety, quite a bit of variety. So it's a very elaborate offering. And actually these are very personal because devotees who are cooking, they're cooking with so much love and devotion. And when you offered it to the Lord, it's just a very personal offering of your who we are and our love and our devotion. So same thing, that's followed by the Sandhya Arati. The Sandhya Bhoga is followed by Sandhya Arati. This is a Chapan Bhog, which happens at midnight. So after the Abhishek and around 11:30, they offer to the Lordship the 56 different offerings with the tulsi leaves on top of it. And it's a variety of different offerings that takes place. It's made of sweets and savory and everything again cooked in ahimsa. And that's a very special arati that we all are waiting eagerly for it. It's a midnight, it's a beautiful kirtan, the lordship's at his birthday time, and it's just you can't express it in a word. It's just very beautiful. And this is a midnight feast. This is actually served to around 700 devotees, and that's the feast you offer after all the devotees have been fasted and done so much service. And by feeding this prasadam to them, you're nourishing this Vaishnavas. It's a wonderful opportunity. People actually work hard so they can serve the Vaishnava, and this is your chance and opportunity to get engaged in. This is a DT outfit offering, and it takes 2 to 3 months of preparation for the outfit. It's done in Vrindavan, and a lot of detail goes into it. So much color coordination with what Lordship has, what he would like, and a lot of embroidery work. It's a handwork. It's done in the raw silk. So that outfit gets offered to the Lordship on the morning of. And this is different jewelries. Offering that you can do to the Lordship. I think this gives you an idea about basically what goes into this throughout the day for the sponsoring opportunity. You don't need to feel pressure right now, but every help we can get, helps us to make the best offering to the Lordship. So please come forward and do the best you can, and let's make this celebration very grand.
Haribol!
If anything else regarding the festival question, we do have a festival planning team of Venudhari Prabhu, Prashant Prabhu, Ankur, Suganya, and Bharani Priya, and myself. So please meet us outside and see how we can serve you. Hare Krishna.
Quick reminder about the flyers that have been printed and distributed to a lot of devotees. We request all of those who have taken flyers not to even leave one behind. Make sure you distribute every single of them, every one of them before Janmashtami. So by Thursday you have 4 days left, so please distribute. And if anybody has feeling short or has run out of flyers, please do let us know so that we can provide you some more. And over 10,000 flyers have been distributed so far, so we're expecting thousands and thousands of devotees to pour in that day. So let's all get ready and prepared for the grand festival. Cooks and cleaners for today's feast.
Hare Krishna, today's cook was Bhaktavatsal Prabhu, and cleaners were Bhaktavatsal Prabhu and Shyamasundar Prabhu.
Haribol!
So we'll have Shayan Arati at 7:30 p.m. this evening after Prasadam. Now let's sing Prasadam prayers all together.
Sharidad Vijajadodendriyatahika Jive Pele Vishaya Shogore Tadamadye diboyati Loba moisu durmati Take jeta katita samsare Krishna Bora Doyamor Kori Bari Jiva Jai Shaprasha Anna Dilobai Shayanamrita Pao Radha Krishna Gunagao Preme Dako Shri Chaitanya Lita Preme Dako Shri Chaitanya Lita Mahaprasadi Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave Sopa Punya Batam Rajan Vishaso Navijayate Prasadi Sarva Dukanam Anirasya Upajayate Vatsana Chetaso Yashu Budipaya Patishtete Tvayo Prabhukta Shadganda Vasalankara Charchitaha Uchishta Bojino Dasyas Kavamayam Jayemahi Bhagavat Shri Mahaprasadiki Gopremanande Nitai Goda Haribo 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 Nitai Goda Haribo. Please come take Prashadam. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,